Hello everybody and welcome back to Sip and App. Okonomiyaki is one of Japan's most beloved comfort foods. Just like many traditional home-cooked dishes, there are countless regional and family variations, each with its own unique ingredients and textures. With just a handful of everyday ingredients, you can make a really delicious okonomiyaki almost anywhere in the world. Today, I'm sharing the simple vegetarian version of these savory pancakes that I grew up eating at home. Then, if you can find a few traditional Japanese ingredients, I'll show you how they can bring the flavor one step closer to the okonomiyaki I remember growing up in Japan. So let's get started. We'll start with the ingredients that are easy to find almost anywhere. To prepare the veggies, finely shred and dice the cabbage and chop the scallions. These make up the heart of the pancake, so take a few extra minutes to cut everything into small, even pieces for the best texture. Along with the cabbage and scallions, all you'll need are flour, eggs, water, and a little salt, and some oil for frying. And like I mentioned before, if that's all you have, you can stop right here and still make a really delicious okonomiyaki. But if you like to make them taste even more like the ones found in Japan, let me introduce you to a few optional ingredients. The good news is that every specialty ingredient that I'm showing here can be found either at many local grocery stores, Asian markets, or online here in North America. You can leave them all out or add 1, 2, 3, or all 4 depending on what you can find. The first is garlic chives. Just like the name suggests, these have a mild garlic flavor and are commonly used in Japanese cooking. So much so that I actually grow them in my garden. If you can't find them, simply leave them out and use a little extra scallions instead. Next is my substitute for tenkatsu, which are tiny crispy bits of fried tempura batter often mixed into okonomiyaki. Since tenkatsu can be difficult to find, I like crushing a handful of plain lentil chips instead. They add a similar savory richness, and of course they're much easier to find here. Other baked vegetable or legume-based snacks like veggie straws will work well too. The third ingredient is Japanese dashi powder. Dashi is one of the signature flavors of Japanese cuisine, most commonly used in miso soup, adding a wonderful savory depth to the batter. If you can't find it, simply replace the water with your favorite broth or stock. Traditional dashi is fish-based, but chicken or even beef broth will still work beautifully. Just remember to reduce the salt if your broth is already seasoned. Last but not least, there's pickled ginger. This is not the same as the sweet sliced ginger served with sushi. The one you're looking for is salty, slightly sour, and usually cut into thin strips. I like to finely chop it before adding it to the batter, where it gives little bursts of bright flavor throughout the pancakes. Now that we have everything prepped, it's finally time to put them all together. In a large bowl, combine the flour, water, eggs, salt, and dashi powder if you're using it, and whisk until smooth. Then add the rest of the ingredients and mix everything together until all of the vegetables are evenly coated. The mixture shouldn't look like traditional pancake batter. It should be mostly vegetables held together by just enough batter to bind everything together. Next, heat a lightly oiled skillet over medium-low heat. For appetizer-sized pancakes like I'm making today, scoop about 2 tablespoons of the mixture into the pan and gently flatten them into small rounds. If you'd rather make larger traditional pancakes, simply divide the batter into 3 portions and spread each one into a large circle. I do have to warn you that flipping it might be a little more challenging than the small ones. Cook for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, or a little longer for larger pancakes, until they're nicely browned and cooked all the way through. The cabbage should be soft and tender without burning the outside. Now for my favorite part, the toppings. First, spread a generous drizzle of okonomiyaki sauce over each pancake. If you can't find it, your favorite barbecue sauce actually makes a very good substitute. Next comes the mayonnaise. The Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise is the classic choice because it's richer and tangier than regular mayonnaise, but use whatever you have on hand. Then, if you've been able to find Aonori Seaweed Flakes or Bonito Flakes, sprinkle those on top as well. These are completely optional, just like the other 4 ingredients, but they really do add that unmistakable finishing touch you'll find on okonomiyaki throughout Japan. I also like to add a few extra pieces of those pickled ginger on top for a little extra freshness and color. There you have it. Serve them while they're still hot. Whether you make the simple version with everyday pantry ingredients or add a few of those traditional extras, I hope this recipe brings a little taste of Japan into your kitchen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.